everyone, it's Katrina and welcome back to my channel. So this is the first video I'm filming since the explosion of my Harvard video, and I just wanted to take some time to say thank you to all of you who viewed the video, who liked it, and who left a comment. Honestly, I get so happy reading your comments every day, and I try to respond to as many as I can, but just know that it makes my day to read your comments, and I share them with my mom and my grandma, and she thinks it's so funny too that everybody thinks she's so funny and cute. It's crazy to see so many people from around the world that are subscribing and joining me on my journey, and I just wanted to say thank you and welcome. And hopefully you all enjoy the rest of my videos as well. I did want to make a Q&A video for you all because a lot of you had questions about the college application process and just tips for college in general. So I wanted to answer some of your questions and hopefully give you a little bit of help and guidance with this video. So I do want to say that this video is sponsored by Unisuccess, and it's super awesome because this is my first ever sponsored video and it would not be possible without all of you. So I really want to thank you all for making this happen. And Unisuccess actually fits right in with this video's content, so I'm really happy to share it with you all, and I think a lot of you will find it to be very helpful. So I'll talk about them a little more as we get into the questions. So I just want to give one big disclaimer that this video is not a how to get into Ivy Leagues or how to get into Harvard video, just because I feel like college applications and admissions are just so random and unpredictable, and there's no formula that will get you into your dream school, so I really don't want to be spreading that kind of message. But before I get into the questions, I just wanted to clarify something in case a lot of people might think I'm still in high school. So I actually graduated high school in 2013 and I went to college at UC Irvine for my undergrad. I double majored in education and psychology and social behavior, and I had the best time at UC Irvine, and I'm actually going to be going to Harvard for my master's program this summer. I will be in their teacher education program and I plan to teach high school social science. So yeah, alright, let's dive right into the questions. So the first question I got was, what are some tips I have for the college application process? So I split this up into 4 general tips. And the first tip I have is to do your research. So I had a notebook, and it's so appropriate, right? It says choose your own path. So I had this notebook and I would write down all the different programs that seemed interesting to me, because at this time when I was really thinking about grad school, I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something in the education field, but I didn't know if I wanted to be a teacher or a counselor or, a psychologist at that time. So I kept my options open and I would research a bunch of different schools and programs, and I would write down how long is the program, what are the requirements, what are their mission statements, what are some career paths, and I also wrote down the questions that I had. Jot down all the ideas that you have, keep it somewhere recorded, whether it's on paper or on the computer, and then keep that with you until you go to the next step. So the second tip that I have is to go to info sessions and webinars. So once you have a general idea of all the different schools that you might be interested in, I would research the different info sessions that are available for that school. So I went to a Harvard info session in LA. I went to a grad school fair to just scope out the different schools I might not have known about. I went to Long Beach's info session at their school. But most of the things I did were online webinars. So I always took notes during the webinar of the different tips that they would give, and at the end, they always leave room for questions. So I always had several questions prepared. For example, like Harvard, I was wondering, will I be able to teach in California if I get my license over there in Massachusetts? And just stuff like that. So if you have any questions, those webinars and info sessions are really the time to get them answered and to just make sure that you're entering the application process with less worries and concerns. So the next tip I have is, once you've figured out all the different schools that you want to apply to, I would make a sheet. So I'll try to put it on the screen for y'all to see. But basically, this is where I would put each of the schools that I was interested in. I would link their site, talk about which program, how long is the program, what is the deadline for the program, and what is on each school's application checklist, because not every school requires the same thing. So it's important to know what each school wants. And I would write down a timeline of everything else that I needed to get done. So my statement of purpose, I wanted to get that done by the fall, October, November, then the letters of rec, who was I going to ask, and finally I put my results. So once I started getting accepted or rejected, I would start filling that in too. This really just helped to keep everything organized, and I really would recommend doing something like this, whether on paper or online, just to keep everything in one place. So tip number 4 is to reach out to people you know who are currently in the school or alumni from the school that you want to go to. So luckily I had friends from different programs, so I was able to ask my friend Amy and my sister's friend Eileen about Stanford's program. I was able to meet up with my friend Mary Cruz and ask about UCLA's program, or my coworker Liz and ask about Harvard's program. So I had some people in my network to give me a better idea of what the program would be like, and they helped answer any more questions that I had, and they helped ease my worries because at this time I was just really nervous about everything. So a lot of you might be wondering, well, what if I don't know anybody in my dream college? But that is where unisuccess fits right in. So unisuccess, the sponsor of this video, they are an online platform that connects students with students or alumni from their dream colleges. I was a little guinea pig. They have a free 30-minute trial right now, so I decided to try it out so I could give you all a more personal review of my experience. So I created an account and I pretended to be a high school student, and basically, once you go in, you can type whatever college you are interested in. I typed my alma mater, UC Irvine, and about 30 different profiles popped up. You can see the students' pictures, their name, their major, and the year they graduated. And you can see a little biography about them too. So you can message them and ask them questions, and actually text messaging is free, but once you start video chatting, you can see that a video chat for an hour would be $24. And I've worked as a college counselor, and honestly, that rate is pretty good. I think a lot of people are charging way too much for college counseling, and I think that this is a great way to get the information at a pretty affordable price. Once you choose the people you want to talk to, you can just message them or schedule a video chat, and I decided to ask a few people from UC Irvine questions about my major. So I asked this guy about, the difference between the psychology and social behavior major, and he actually gave me really thorough answers. He gave me links, he gave me explanations, and he actually told me that the major changed. So my major is not called psychology and social behavior anymore. It has a totally different name. But the great thing about unisuccess is that you are not stuck with just one advisor. You get to choose who you're talking to. So if you aren't really clicking with one advisor, or maybe they're just not being really responsive, go ahead and try another one, right? There's so many different options. You can see who works best with you before you schedule a video chat with them. So I've been both a college counselor and I've been an anxious applicant, so I know the value in having a mentor guide you along the way. So I really think unisuccess is a great way for you to get a better idea and to just ease whatever nerves you might have about the application process by having someone there with you along the way. So I will leave a link down below in the description box, and I'll also remind you at the end of the video as well. So the next question is, can you recommend some study tips? So I'm just going to do a little self-promotion here, but I actually made a video on study tips during my senior year of college, and honestly I feel like it still aligns with what I believe today and how I study today. So I'm just going to link it down below if any of you are interested. The next question is how to be more productive in college and how to block out distractions. And this kind of goes along with study tips as well. But I think the few things I forgot to mention in my video were that, one, I think it's so helpful to sit in front of the classroom. So whether it's in a small classroom or a big lecture hall, trying to get towards the front near the professor makes such a difference to me, because it's so much harder to go on your phone or to fall asleep or doze off when the professor is literally a few feet away from you. So it just really helps me feel more comfortable in participating when I don't have to shout across the whole classroom. I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, you're such a nerd, such a try-hard, you're always trying to sit in the front, but dude, who cares? I don't know why people say try hard like it's a bad thing. Why wouldn't you want to try hard? Anyway, so some tips I have to block out distractions. One thing I do is when I'm really studying or doing my work done or have a lot of reading to do, I work away from my phone. So in college, I just remember always doing my work in the dining room, on the dining table, and I would leave my phone in the bedroom. I feel like when your phone is near you, it's so easy to just say, let me just check my notifications for a little bit, and then the next thing you know, you're on like Explore Instagram looking at like an influencer that you never even heard of. And another thing that I do is I never study on the bed. I'm only on the bed when I'm about to go to sleep. So I think that helps me a lot because I don't take naps. I think that people who go on the bed, it's so easy to just take a nap or just get really comfortable, and I don't think you should be too comfortable when you're studying. Okay, so next question is, do you have any tricks to relieve your stress or clear your mind when you're struggling with something? I'm the kind of person to get stressed over little things. Whenever a new challenge or task comes up, I just immediately get overwhelmed and stressed about it. Like, oh no, I can't do this. Like, yesterday I got a form from Harvard to fill out. I was like, these questions are so hard. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not Harvard material. And it always takes me a second before I get it together and go, Katrina, you gotta take it slowly. You just gotta overcome this first step where you think you're incompetent and you can't do anything, and you just gotta get over that and then do it. But when I am there, and sometimes I'm there for a long time, I do several things. So one, I always have to rant to someone, and the poor victims of my rants are always either my sister or my boyfriend. So and sometimes I just tell them the exact same thing. I just type it 2 times. I just say, oh my gosh, Jess, so I have this due, and like in the next 2 weeks I have like 3 tests and 4 finals, and I have a project to do, and all this, I can't do it. And you know, she'll just tell me like, you got this, flexing emoji or something. And it's not that I'm looking for advice or anything like that, but I just kind of need an outlet to let it all out before I go, okay, Katrina, let's do this, let's make a to-do list. So the next thing I do is make a to-do list of all the things I need to do, and I've found the importance of breaking up a big task into smaller, more attainable tasks. So if I have a huge project with like 5 different parts, I'll break it down. Okay, what are the 5 parts, and how long will I give myself to finish each part? And I'm just gonna take it day by day, slowly, give myself, you know, a buffer period before the deadline, and it just makes it so much easier to get through things when they're smaller tasks. The next question is, what do I do when everyone is telling me that I'll never achieve my goals? This one really broke my heart a little bit to read. I think if you can, it's good to be transparent, especially if these are people that are close to you, your family, your friends. Like, maybe you should tell them, hey, can you not be so discouraging? It really hurts when you have a goal and you just want to do it, but the people closest to you are the ones bringing you down and making it seem like, oh, you're never going to reach it. If you can somehow open up to them, if they're willing to, just let them know how hard it is to keep going when the people that you care about most are just, you know, shoving all this negativity at you. If you really feel like no one's supporting you, reach out to people outside of that circle, right? Maybe online or friends you haven't talked to in a while. Sometimes I find that the people that are most supportive are not the people closest to you. Sometimes they're people that you meet up with once and you tell them your goals, and they're so damn supportive, and it makes the biggest difference. So I would say surround yourself with people who support you. And I think it's also important just to be your own #1 supporter. If you believe in your goal, then you have to go with it. Just hang in there. You got this. I support you. I know who you are, you know who you are. Just message me and I'm supporting you. The next question is, what are you most afraid of with your new journey, and what are you most looking forward to? I think one of the biggest things I was scared about with Harvard was whether or not I could handle it, or whether or not it would really hurt my self-esteem. Because as it is, I've never been someone who was very confident about my intellect. I never considered myself as smart. And it's just been something I've been dealing with since I was young, and it's not something I can just shake. Like, a bunch of people can tell me, you know, like, oh, you're smart, Katrina, look at you, you got into Harvard, but I just can't shake that feeling that I'm, you know, still not good enough, that I somehow, like, I'm a phony. And I know it's the imposter syndrome and everything like that, but it's just hard. It's easier to say that you're going to stop thinking like that than it is to really do it. And I was just afraid of going into Harvard, being surrounded by, you know, all these super intelligent people, and thinking every day that I don't belong here. And my boyfriend was telling me that he thinks that it's actually better to feel that way and to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, who will lift you up because they're gonna make you better. And that was actually really motivating for me, because I know it's gonna be a challenge for me. It's literally knocking me out of every comfort zone that I'm in, but I'm really excited to get past that point and to hopefully be okay, and to learn so much more and to gain more confidence in myself as a person. because I think it's one thing to get into Harvard and then another thing to go through it and survive it and be a graduate from Harvard. Next question is, what made you choose Harvard, and did you know their program was an intense one-year program? Yes, I did know actually. So my program is a one-year program and it's super intensive. I'll be teaching and in school at the same time, and I am not so sure how intense it's gonna be. I'm not expecting much break time, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time to vlog and all of that, but I will try my best. I think the one-year program was really appealing because I'll be done with school in a year, right? In a year I'll be back, I could start looking for jobs, and my parents really liked the idea of a one-year program as well. And honestly, I just feel like I couldn't give up the chance and opportunity of going to Harvard. Like, I made it this far, I might as well go for it, you know? I might as well just stick it out and let's do it and let's experience it and let's challenge myself and let's do it. Next question is, how's the college prep going, and are you excited to meet a diverse group of people and make new friends? So the college prep is going. Although I'm in and accepted, I'm actually still getting stuff done. So I'm taking 2 classes at community college right now, and I did not think Harvard would start so early, so actually I have to skip the last few weeks of my classes. I'm really just trying to catch up right now with all the tests and quizzes and extra credit, just to make sure that by the time I go there I have everything good. So that's been busy, and actually I still have to take some tests. So I had no idea that Massachusetts had their own tests that I needed to take. I took all the California tests, and after I got admitted, they were like, hey, you still got to take some Massachusetts tests. And I was like, oh my goodness. I just took one this month, and I don't know the results yet, but I have to take another one soon too. So that's been a little bit busy. But am I excited to meet a diverse group of people? Yes, I'm so excited. That's one of the goals and things I'm most excited for. The Student of Color organizations have reached out to me already, and they just seem so welcoming. I'm a little bit nervous, but overall really excited, and I can't wait to just make a bunch of friends from all around the world. And that's something that makes me really nervous, making new friends. So I just hope it goes well. So the next question is, how are you feeling? I thought this was really cute. So how am I feeling? Lately, I've actually been feeling pretty positive because although I've been so busy catching up with stuff, as I'm slowly, you know, taking all my quizzes and everything and I'm doing well, I feel this sense of accomplishment and this sense of self-efficacy, like, I can do it. You know, it was stressful in the beginning, like it always is, but I did it, and I finished a lot earlier than expected. So yesterday I was able to meet up with a friend that I haven't talked to in a while, and it was so nice to catch up with her. This morning I had breakfast with one of my best friends, and I realized that we actually haven't hung out in a while, and it was really nice too. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy. I think the one thing though that's making me really worried is the fact that I'm going to be away from my family and my grandparents for so long. I have never been away for that long, even though I know a year doesn't seem that long. I know it's going to fly by, but my grandparents are getting older, and it's hard to say, you know, how things are going to be in a year. So I'm really hoping that, you know, they stay healthy and everything is good by the time I come back. Okay, so my battery is just blinking red, so I think this is a good place to end the video. I want to thank you all for your questions, and I want to remind you all to click the link below and try your free 30-minute trial of unisuccess. I really do think this is a great resource, especially if you have some questions about your dream college but you don't know who to ask. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.